It's unbelievable that we had something like that, right here in the North Country.
Gary Pasqua is St. Lawrence County's district attorney.
I think Ivy Ridge probably sold itself as something very different than what it was.
From the moment Netflix dropped a documentary on the former academy at Ivy Ridge near Ogdensburg, he says his phone has been ringing from students of that academy ever since.
I think the level of the physicality that these kids clearly went through from the videos that were shown in the documentary was above and beyond, I think, that anyone understood.
The documentary, titled The Program, Cons, Cults, and Kidnapping, was put together by a former student of the academy, a place with 460 students at its peak, taking in $3,500 a month from each of their families.
Certainly it sold itself as a high school and a learning institution where these kids were getting an education.
But the documentary was not about academic concerns, including those that came to light in 2005 when the Attorney General found the academy was never accredited and in essence offered diplomas that meant nothing. Instead, it presents a much darker existence, claims from students that staff were abusive, mentally, physically, and sexually.
We want them to come forward so that we can hear their story, so that we can talk to them, see if we can find any evidence to corroborate that, and see what we can do going forward.
Pasqua says he's already received dozens of calls and emails from former students who believe they were abused, and he expects dozens of more to come in over the next week or so. He does, however, have a concern with the statute of limitations. After all, some of these allegations are 20 years old.
We're going to take those on a case-by-case basis and see if there is anything that we can do on the criminal side.
And as you can imagine, in the days since this documentary has been released, this spot has become quite the attraction. So much so that the private owner of this property has blocked it off. There are posted signs everywhere, even a trail camera. And it's because of that and the fact that there is an active investigation that Pasqua is asking people to stay away.
We're working with the individual that owns that property to get any additional documentation that still may be there to get that out.
Pasqua is also concerned with what he tells us is harassment aimed at those who used to be associated with Ivy Ridge. He says as of right now, everything is just an accusation, and all harassment needs to stop.
And doing things like that, that's not getting justice for anyone who may have been abused at Ivy Ridge. That is not going to make our job any easier. That is not going to get, those individuals who work there potentially to cooperate with us if they have information.
Pasqua is imploring everyone to let law enforcement and his office do their jobs, and if they can and need to, they will hold people responsible. Brian Dwyer, Spectrum News.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.